Hey there, how you doing? So I wanted to make a quick video critique to kind of go through each one of the three submissions that you created here for the alley. So I was calling them day, kind of evening, and night, and you've included some references with them, which is extremely helpful. So with this first day one, I kind of wanted to take a look at it and get an idea of the overall look that's being achieved here. So we've got a pretty good gradient going back into space here of from like kind of this cool light as we go back in here into this warm light. We're also focusing our eye back here because this is where the brightest part of the image is. It's pretty simple in this foreground, and it all just kind of leads back to that space. Again, warmer light back there, cooler light in here, and you can see the gradient taking place along the ground. Now let's go into yours here. I'm kind of missing that warm to cool gradient. Like I would really like to see some cool light in the foreground moving back into that space. This pocket of light, I would eliminate that. I do like the idea of it. Like it would be fine if it was up here because I could get the feeling that light was breaking through over the top of the building and hitting there. But the problem is that when I'm seeing it down in here, it's almost like it's definitely not from the building because I can see the wall here and I can see the walls coming in. So it almost feels like it's a man-made light, but I'm not seeing that light source, and it just feels a little out of place. So I would just remove that pocket of light and really kind of focus things in on back here. I like the brightness that's hitting the wall here. You can kind of see that back here, but I would also like it to kind of creep a little bit onto this wall as well, and so we can see it kind of in both places. Let's see, looking back on the reference here, you can see this like nice soft kind of shadow area happening there. It'd be nice to see more of that soft shadow coming in this way a little bit. And then in terms of the haze, I think you can probably peel back the haze just a little bit, especially as we're getting towards the background. And then as you can see, like this foreground, we really get some dark values in here, and it'd be really nice to get some, like, not super dark, but like maybe like down here in this corner, maybe like down over here, we allow some areas to go darker than what we're seeing now. So that would be my advice from there. In terms of this one, so I think this is a good example of, and maybe you were just using the reference very loosely, but I think you're thinking too much and not looking at the and not really getting it and not allowing the reference to help guide you on where you want to go. So we still have this bright pocket of light back here, which isn't exactly what we would be feeling in this scene. So let's break this down again. So what we're seeing, a lot of gradient. So again, the dark value of this tree versus this one, like really feeling back, like things stepping back into space here. A lot of haze in the background, and it's overall, this image is pretty it's pretty desaturated, and I'm not seeing a lot of like maybe just like a little bit of the warm hues, the mud down here, but if you're looking anywhere from here on up, it's all desaturated. It's all like kind of a black and white hazy type of image. And I think that is something that's really kind of striking about this, and this kind of like bright glowy haze in the background. So here it's much more blue, which is fine, but we're really missing that that kind of like stark, contrasty element to it, right? And definitely like not feeling the darker foreground versus things falling back. Like all of this area is a similar tone. Like this whole wall is a similar tone. Like we really want to step up the shaping in these foreground elements and allow them to step back into space. Like looking over here at this tin can that's floating here, it's just like there can be more shaping, there can be more shadow, there can be more and more. And I think that instead of allowing, because like this feels like now there's like a bright sunlight, but the sky and everything else like the lighting implies that it's a very overcast day. So I would work on kind of taking down this light, because again, this feels like a bright sunlight, like you can even see the sharp shadows there, and allow maybe some of the skylight to spill over here as the main light source. And you can have like because then it'd be like a bright sky. You can have a little trace of light trickling in here, but not quite to that level, and then really push like the darkness in the foreground to help fall it back into space. Now we have this version. So we've got the lanterns and things like, again, nice mixture of warm and cool. Check out this like nice specularity on the rockway here, a little shaping on all these characters. This person's kind of popping out. Like this value is very interesting to me because it's not like full nighttime yet. Like there's still a little bit of skylight left in there. So something to consider there. Yours is going a little bit more like pure evening, and that's cool. But a couple things to point out, like this amount of light coming out of this window implies that it's much closer together, and I'm not sure there would be that much light that kind of comes out of there. And I would expect like more to be on the ground here than actually on the wall. I would like to see it maybe kind of like spill out this way, and then by the time we get over there, it's pretty no, like the value shifts as we go across that way. And then in terms of some other things, like what I like to say in this scene is if you're doing interior lights on the windows, go ahead and throw some geo back there, like throw a cube or a sphere or something just to break up that shadow a little bit. And additionally, like just maybe this wall, just darken it in the comp or something to help, because like right now these three kind of flow together, just something to break up that. And then these lights back here in this window are feeling a little bit too saturated, a little bit too red. And then like we saw this nice specularity in the ground. Like try and get that too. Try and get the reflection of the lights into the specularity on the ground here. I think that would make a big difference. So, but overall, I think you've got the right idea. This is going to be a strong piece once you have everything working together, like showing the reference versus showing the scene, like really pushing the emotion and just demonstrating that you can light things the same scene multiple ways would be really, really powerful. So good luck, keep going and keep posting. Can't wait to see how this progresses.